I don't know much about Carolina. I know a couple of those games were tight. But, the Caps have all the experience now after last year. Carolina really doesn't because they haven't been in the playoffs in 10 years, I believe. Rod Brind'Amour is a tough-minded, he's a tough-minded player. You know him well. So what do you think the difference is in this series between the two teams?
Well, talent and experience and goaltending. I think, yes, Rod Brind'Amour has done a great job with Carolina, and I think Carolina has done a great job in creating a buzz and creating an excitement that not only their team has been enjoying, but their fans have been enjoying. So the fact that there's a lot of energy, everybody's so excited to be back in the playoffs, that energy is going to be tough to play on early in this. I think Carolina's starting
tilting.
Excited about. They do have a very gritty team to play against, but when it comes down to it, the talent that is just oozing off of the Washington Capitals roster on the ice. Holtby will outdo Mrazek. Ovechkin will outplay Aho. It's the only thing that I say is the problem is sometimes Washington will play down to their competition and think that they can just put up, lace on the boots and just go out and win with talent. But they found last year that when you play hard and you play that gritty style that you're supposed to play, you win championships. But it's all between their ears for Washington. They should handle this in about 5 or 6 games, but
JR, do you think that's what happened to the Caps last year when they stubbed their toe in the first 2 games against Columbus? Even though the games were tight, they dropped the first 2 and were close to losing the first 3 if it weren't for Lars Eller coming up huge on the road against Columbus. I'm sure Coach Reirden has their attention about getting a quick start, trying to win both of the games at home, and not getting into that hole early.
1,000,000%. I mean, if they didn't have that scare by Columbus, and Lars Eller scoring that OT goal and then having that breath of fresh air, that was a huge wake-up call. And that's exactly the point that I was just making. And they just have to understand that happened last year. And, you can't poke the dog too many times. So to get off on the right foot is the right idea this year.
Any concerns or questions with Todd Reirden as a rookie head coach at all? I mean, I don't think there is, but
I don't think so. No, I think Todd's done a really good job. He's been around. He was the assistant coach, so he knows this team. There's no problem in the system. I don't know if he is a guy that can push guys' buttons, whether he's a stern coach, if he sees something that's not happening or that he doesn't like, whether he's going to address it and how he's going to address it. And I'm a perfect example. I'm a huge fan of Kuznetsov. I think he's one of the most talented players on the planet. But when he gets playing his loosey-goosey, trying to throw real talented passes, which are low percentage plays through the middle, making, bad decisions because he is that talented, and turnovers start happening, is Todd Reirden going to sit Kuzi down and say, hey, listen, you got to play, you got to make the high percentage play. Dump the puck in and go get it rather than do a spinorama pass at the blue line, blind to someone that you think is coming, late. Play the game the right way. But he's done a great job of keeping this team level-headed all year. Nobody's talking about them because they're all talking about Tampa, and I think that's a good thing for the Washington Capitals.
Joined by Jeremy Roenick, former NHL superstar, now studio analyst for NBC Sports. He's on the way to the studio right now in New York City for the Stanley Cup playoffs, which start tonight. Big surprise that Brett Connolly had a great year, his best year in his contract year, and he's been a nice piece for the Caps since they picked him up in 2016. 22 goals, 24 assists on the season. And this is a guy who broke into the league early, huge expectations. He's starting to fulfill them now, and the Caps are benefiting.
Well, he's a very talented player, and I think there's been a few teams that have been waiting for him to wake up. Florida waited for him to wake up. The Bruins tried to get him to wake up, and I think this guy's got an incredible shot. He's got a good knack for the net, but I think the position that he's in right now, being a solid third-line winger, and I think that's another reason why Washington's so strong this year is because of that third line with Connolly, Eller, and Hagelin. They're very, very strong. They're very good on the defensive and offensively. Dangerous, and Connolly's a guy that has the most confidence. He's been fantastic this year. And of course, it is a contract year. We see a lot of guys play their best hockey when they have the opportunity of getting paid at the end of the season.
Jeremy, Cakes and I have a pretty large wager, money line parlay wager on Tampa Bay and Washington to get through the first round. Pretty large. You feel
for us, not for you, for us.
Yeah, not for you. You put 10 grand on it.
Well, let's put it this way. If that's parlay, that's gonna pay a 500. It's gonna pay 510.
Correct.
Maybe 490. But I'd be very confident that that's gonna happen. Yes, I think that's a good bet.
See, he knows the odds.
Yes, he does.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has one in there. Do you like the Caps? If the Caps do get through, who do you think they face in the next series, Pittsburgh or New York?
I think they get Pittsburgh. You know, Pittsburgh has so much pedigree. And whenever you have a Sidney Crosby and a Malkin, Kessel is heating up. It's playing some good hockey right now. Matt Murray's been playing better hockey in the second half, at least the last third of the season. So I think Pittsburgh is going to find a way to get it done. I think it's going to be a long series. I think it'll be 7 games, but I think Pittsburgh will come out on top. Playoffs, guys. Okay, talk to you later.
Yeah, we'll get you on soon. Thanks,
we'll get you
pal.
on next round. All right, man.
Jeremy
Anytime.
Thanks,
former NHL star, now studio analyst for NBC
He's our
Sports.
buddy. He's actually our buddy.
Yeah, yes, he is. We're the Junkies. Coming right back.